Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen has given an emotional speech apologizing for Denmark's mistreatment of Indigenous women and girls in the past. Frederiksen traveled to Greenland's capital, Nuuk, to ask forgiveness of the victims of the historical abuse and their families. In the 1960s and 70s, the Copenhagen government, which ruled the island as a Danish province, forced thousands of young women in Greenland, many of them minors, to have contraceptive devices inserted into their wombs as a form of compulsory birth control, often causing permanent damage.
This is Anna. She was just a teenager when she unwittingly became part of a program of forced birth control in Greenland.
When I was 15 years old, I got pregnant but didn't want to follow through. I had an abortion at the hospital, where I was put to sleep. I was under the impression that I was just having an abortion. But they inserted a contraceptive coil inside of me without my knowledge.
For decades, Danish doctors forcibly inserted IUDs into thousands of Greenland's native Inuit women in response to fears of rapid population growth in the former colony. Many had lifelong health problems as a result. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen has already issued an official statement of apology.
I think it's refreshing to see an apology because the women also need it. Many of them weren't able to have children later in life, and many had, mental issues afterwards because of the trauma that it created.
But an apology isn't enough for some. 143 Greenlandic women are suing Denmark for over €5.5 million. Anna says that in her case, her IUD caused nearly fatal complications during pregnancy and left her unable to have children.
When they apologized, I felt like they were not talking about me. After the apology was given, I felt some of the trauma again.
The legal case continues, but for Anna and thousands of others, there's no way to undo what was done to them in the name of population control.
Let's take a closer look with Markus Valentin. He's a journalist at KNR, the Greenlandic Broadcasting Corporation. Welcome to DW. Thousands of women were affected by this campaign, which allegedly continued into the 90s, if not beyond. Yet an official investigation didn't start until 2022. Why did it take so long for this to come to light?
Well, you've got to understand that there's been a lot of shame around this topic, and it's not something that has been talked a lot about. Everyone here in Greenland knows someone that has been affected with this IUD campaign, but it wasn't until 2022 where the Danish Broadcasting Corporation released a podcast where they proved the systemic use of IUDs on Inuit women here in Greenland. And right now, an official report was released this month covering how many women got this. And we can see in the 1970s that at least 4,000 women and more women afterwards got these IUDs. But it has only been proven in 410 cases that it has been forcibly given. But as I said, everyone up here knows women like in your story, Anak, that has gotten the IUDs, and I'm yet to talk with anyone that has had any pleasant experiences with this.
This is horrific stories. Denmark has issued a formal apology and set up a reconciliation fund. Do people in Greenland see this as a meaningful step, or is this mostly symbolic?
Well, when you talk with the women represented today down at the ceremony, they were happy and very moved and very emotional about the ceremony and the apology. But a lot of them also expressed the wish that their fight is not ended yet. Some of them are suing the state, and people want to have also a compensation, economic compensation, in order rectify this wrong that was done to these women. But then again, when I talk with experts in the Greenlandic-Danish relationship, a lot of them talk about Denmark and Greenland almost never being closer and more equal than they are right now. But that being said, there are still a lot of other cases, especially the legally fatherless children, which are also suing the government. In their mind, they're not really sure if they also got an apology today, and if this is going to be a bi-yearly thing that Denmark will come up here and apologize for every time something wrong surfaces or a court case is settled. So there's still a lot of anger, there's still a lot of emotions, and it's not solved yet.
Denmark appears to be trying to improve relations with the Inuit. In your view, is it doing enough? And if not, what needs to change?
I think I'll let the voters, the people of Greenland, and the politicians speak about if it's enough. But you can see on the political level right now, almost everything that Greenland demands and wants to have from the Danish state, they are getting right now from the government. So the doors are open, and the current Danish government says that they want reconciliation. They want to get over the past hurt, and so they could be able to look into a future. But still, it's not enough for a lot of people up here, but it's a start for many.
That's journalist Markus Valentin. Thank you so much.